Monday Morning Matters.
Perspectives from Southeast Asia.
Hi, this is Arlene, and you are listening to Drenasian, the voice of discovery and sharing. Today, we are going to start our Monday Morning Matters with discussion on climate change. So, a bunch of Malaysian kids have go all the way to Paris for the COP21, and together with me right now in the studio, they are asking the question. I'm asking the question to them actually. Why climate matters? With me is Thomas Lai Yoke, Elaine C. Ling, and Emily Oi Yi Si. They are all members of the Malaysian youth delegation to the COP21 in Paris. First of all, I want to say hi, how are you, and welcome to Duran ASEAN.
Hi.
Hi everyone. So are you guys awake now?
Yeah.
It's still very much early in the morning. First of all, I want to say congratulations for taking the initiative as Malaysian youth to go all the way there to share Malaysians' voices on climate change. And hopefully you guys gain a couple more knowledge and information about how to address the issue of climate change. Can you guys share with me your background, a bit of your background, and why you intended to go to the COP21?
Hi everyone, my name is Elaine. I'm 20 this year and I'm a current student in Taylor's College. My first intention of joining the Malaysian youth delegation is actually since 15 years old, I start to be very concerned about climate change because of a series of news articles that is published. I think that it's a very big issue that most of the Malaysian are not very concerned about. And I think raising awareness and knowledge about educating people about the climate change is very important to fix this problem, because it's very cliche, but I have to say this, we only have one Earth.
That's true. Oh, we can move to Mars, like the Martian. What about you, Emily?
Actually, to me, I also developed my interest since high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but not so much on the proper action, because I am from JB, and I think JB
You're
has.
still in school, or?
Oh, I just finished my master's in environmental management. Yeah, so I think in my hometown JB, there's not much of climate change or environmental related course going on, so I didn't have a platform to really practice or know more about it. So after I came to university, which is the University of Nottingham, Malaysia campus, so it's very much in the KL Selangor area that I discover so many ongoings that is related to climate change. So that's how I joined this Power Chief and also Malaysian Youth Delegation.
So most of the environmentalists are centered in KL.
Yeah, I can say so. Or if you want a more conservation base, it would be on the East Malaysia.
East Malaysia.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, so that's how I get to involve in this. And I think it's also important to build the gap between the public and also the people in this circle, because we know about this environmental issues a lot, but not much of people know about it out there. So I think this is a good platform for us to build the bridge.
That's true.
Yep.
It's the good platform. And
Yeah.
do you agree the same, Thomas,
Yeah,
or
I'm
you
agree
have
the
more
same.
ideas to share?
No. But I get to know about climate change quite slow during undergrad.
Mhm.
During
And
one of
you
the
are right now still
I'm
undergrad?
studying master now.
Oh, starting
Just
master.
finished.
So it's still
Yeah.
not. It's not that recently. You know it quite later on. Later before this.
Like 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah, during one of our university events.
Mhm.
So I know about climate change, and then I feel quite interested. So I just go deep in climate change.
I see.
Yeah.
So why climate change? Why not other causes?
I think it's more to like personal reference, and then
Mhm.
I think like in Malaysia, I think the awareness is there. It's just that the youth like us, like we don't know how to do sound actions, like how to do actions. So I would like to take this as an initiative. Yeah.
If you were to explain ordinary Malaysians about what exactly is climate change, what is it? Like how do you describe it? Is it a change in climate or is it more than that? Perhaps any of you can answer it.
In my opinion, actually, we went through a series of trainings before we depart to Paris. So there's one of the trainer that she talks about the impacts of climate change. It's actually it's in everyday life, it's in every aspect of our life. For example, like climate change could affect the economics. Like for example, if the world, all the countries were to cut down the carbon emission, then we will slowly have divestment and slowly cut down the use of fossil fuels. So this will affect the economics. For example, oil and gas companies or green tech startups. So this is for economy, business, industry. Besides that, if, for example, religious, nowadays there are a lot of religion groups. They came out and have declaration and talk about climate and also geopolitical problems. For example, the Middle East. That's what they are facing over there, like overcrowding, climate, migration, and actually it's everywhere. It's affecting everyone. So I'll say you cannot say it's just about the environment or just the weather. It's all parts of life, your education, your politics.
But what exactly it is? Is it because of the overburning of fossil fuel or too many release of CO2 on the air that the weather pattern becomes unstable and then suddenly you have very cold winter or very hot summer?
Yeah, exactly. So like what you described, climate change is proven. It is anthropogenic. So it is mostly because of the excessive emission of greenhouse gases, not only on carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, which kind of like break down the whole cycle of carbon exchange in this whole earth. Yeah, so and the consequences is not only increasing in temperature, it causes mostly sea level rise as well as extreme weather pattern. Extreme weather can include colder or hotter and more frequent, more uncertain period or duration of the all this typhoons or
floods and all that.
Yes.
Yeah. So you want to add on, Thomas? Talking about climate change, of course we have to highlight about the COP21, which is the event or the conference that you guys went. Can you explain more about it, because you guys were there, and tell me what exactly it is and what have they achieved?
Right. COP21.
Oh, COP21. Sorry.
Thomas.
Hi. Alright, so I will give you a glimpse of history about what is COP.
Yeah.
So, the COP is called the Conference Party. It's an annual meeting of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Yeah, quite long, the jargon.
Yeah.
It's like, in the short form, it's called UNFCCC. Yeah, it's an annual meeting of the UNFCCC parties to assess progress in dealing with climate change. So, all states, which mean the countries, that are parties to the convention are represented at the COP, at which they are responsible for keeping international effort to address climate change on tracks and review the implementation of the conventions and to take decisions necessary to promote the effective implementation of the convention. Yeah.
So have they achieved their goal or whatever that they want to agree at COP21? Not sure.
Kind of like on a very surface level. Yeah, but in depth, maybe not so much. There are some post Paris Agreement discussion on this.
I see. I think getting an agreement with so many countries involved in it is not easy. I mean, we see the failure of Kyoto Protocol a couple of decades ago.
Yeah.
But for COP21, at least what is the minimum achievement that from your couple of weeks there you found out that they have actually achieved?
The temperature goal.
Yeah, Thomas, you want to talk about the temperature
it's
goal?
about the temperature goal. And then it's like previously, before I went to the COP, I thought like it's impossible to have all party to agree on just 2 degree.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's even hard
yeah.
for us to get Malaysians to agree on anything.
Yeah.
Somewhere you have to have like 100 and something countries to agree on something.
Yeah, but to the ends, like all parties like really agree to limit their temperature to really below 2 degrees, or if possible 1.5 above the pre-industrial area. Like
I
this is
see.
like certain like give me like a wow. It's like yeah.
So
Something.
for Malaysia, what is our commitment? Are we into this, or we are like, no, we are not ready yet? What was the government's point of view? Perhaps you might have interacted with some of them.
I would say Malaysia always speaks on behalf of the developing countries. Malaysia is the spokesperson for the like-minded developing countries bloc in this COP21. So we, as the developing countries, sorry,
Must
Yeah.
be the weather.
yeah.
Climate
So
change.
developing countries always strive for this concept called the common but differentiated responsibilities, because we feel that the developed countries, they have released a very huge amount of historical greenhouse gas emission in the past, when they what is the word? When they come to our country and colonize us and all that. So we think because of this, we should fight and ask and demand the developed countries to bear more responsibilities in terms of transferring their technology and finance, as well as build up our capacity to adapt to this climate change. So this is what mainly Malaysia, our Malaysian negotiators, they keep on telling us the importance of this
I see.
CBDR. Yeah.
CBDR.
Yes.
And what about the point of view from the Malaysian youth delegation? You guys also release your own statement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us more about it.
So basically, we have this statement after doing some surveys when we participate in the ASEAN Power Shift. So we came out with 4 clauses. The first point is to increase the
Companies.
Wait.
Increase it?
yeah. Let me to preserve the intact forest. To
preserve the forest, you mean
Yeah,
the
the intact
intact
forest.
intact forest.
Yeah.
What is that exactly?
So basically because Malaysia, we have a lot of forests, like everyone knows about this. So the definition of forest can be very very tricky. Some of them, they define like plantation as forest, but all those doesn't consider as forest in biologically, because they doesn't have all those different the biodiversity. So we are trying to we are voicing out our demands to protect the virgin for the intact forests that are still existing, that are not developed, that are, for example, the national parks, because all these parks are the one that we can protect, because a lot of the forests are already developed, we already cut down and they clear them. So it's very hard for us to do reforestation. So what we can do is to protect those that are existing and is complete, and yes.
So, in other words, if we have any forest reserves, we make sure that it's not being chopped off.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
chopped
it
down.
include both primary and secondary forests, and covers from mangroves to peat forests. Yeah, because in Malaysia we have different type of
Yeah.
forests, and
Yeah.
these are very essential in this biodiversity.
I see. Do you
Yeah.
consider our gussing, the gussing part there as intact forest? I mean, I just want to know,
Not really. They consider fragmented.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
so that would be more of a park rather
yes,
than like a
exactly.
real forest. I see.
It's more like a community purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the Frim in Kepong? Would that be also considered intact or a secondary?
Yeah.
Uh, okay.
Yeah, frame.
Yeah. Other than that,
Besides that, actually our biggest use statement clause is on increasing the percentage of carbon emission intensity of Malaysia, cut to 80%, because previously our Prime Minister have already told us we have reached about 35%, even without the aid of developed countries.
I see.
Yeah. But
How
for
can we
this
do that?
statement, yeah, but for this statement, we would prefer the government to actually take more initiative rather than just solely waiting for international aid. Yeah,
But what can the government do to achieve that?
they can invest in renewable energy.
Mhm.
Yeah, because currently our energy mix is very much depending on the fossil fuel, and this is actually one of our clauses as well. Yeah, this is like preserving intact forests and investing more in renewable energy are some of the steps to achieve this, to increase our carbon emission intensity cut.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we think the most important is to increase the renewable energy investment.
So far, what sort of renewable energy investment that the government is fully, embarking in? So I know solar energy is one. Other than that, is there anything else? And hydropower as well. What else that you guys have observed with the Malaysian government have done so far in terms of the renewable energy?
I think hydropower is not a very clean renewable energy, I would say, because there's a lot of like social impacts associated with this, like what we see in the East
The
Malaysia.
Baram.
Yes, exactly,
Baram
Baram. Yeah, it's very controversial.
So when you talk about renewable energy, what actually you are talking about? Is it just solar or is it something else more?
It should be renewable but sustainable and clean at the same time. Well, renewable energy is clean, but it needs to be sustainable.
Some renewable energy, like you mentioned just now, hydropower,
Yes.
it's not exactly as clean as people assume.
Yeah. But again, I would like to say something for hydro dam is that the news that we've seen in Baran Dam is because they are huge hydro dams. So the relative scale of the impact would be larger. But now the more sustainable way of hydro dam would be the micro hydro dam. So it's a small scale.
You bring it to the village.
Yeah,
those
yeah.
that are off the grid.
Yeah, and the negative impact is relatively small. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
We will continue the youth statement later.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's
sure.
a lot more you guys want to talk about.
Okay.
We'll have a song break now.